Hello, and thank you for working with the Florida Child Support Program on your case. This short video shows you how to complete the form titled the Declaration of Unpaid Support, Child Support. We send you this form when it is needed by the court to show a full history of support payments made to you and past due support you are owed. If you also receive the form titled Declaration of Unpaid Support, Alimony, you should complete both forms. Be sure to include only child support payments on the Declaration of Unpaid Support, Child Support form, and only alimony payments on the Declaration of Unpaid Support, Alimony form. To complete this form, use dark blue or black ink. Please do not use pencil. You will also need your most recent support order and any payment records, like bank statements or receipts. You may also want to have a calculator and a calendar that shows past years. First, enter your name, the name of the parent who owes support, your child support case number, and your court case number at the top of the form. Before you begin filling out the payment history section, be sure to have your support order for reference. In Section A, fill in the information about your most recent support order. Enter the amount of support ordered on line 1, and the frequency the support is to be paid on line 2. In our example here, the ordered amount is $150 to be paid every 2 weeks. Read your support order carefully to see if an amount was established for a past period. This might be an amount of support that was owed and has not been paid, called arrears or arrearage, or for the amount of support established for the period before the order was entered, called retroactive support. If your support order establishes an amount due for a past period, enter that amount on line 3 and the date that it was entered on line 4. In our example, the order says there is retroactive support owed in the amount of $1,000 as of July 31st, 2020. If the order does not establish an amount for a past period, indicate that these fields are not applicable by entering N/A on lines 3 and 4. On line 5, enter the date the first child support payment is due under the order. In our example, the first payment is due August 3rd, 2020. If your order doesn't say when the first payment is due, use the date the order was signed by the judge. Now let's move on to Section B of the form. In Section B, you will enter each payment due under the support order by year and month, the amount paid each month, and the balance or amount owed. To complete this section, begin by entering the year the first payment is due in the top left corner of the first payment history box. Next, write the amount of support due each month in the due column, starting with the first payment date entered on line 5. Add the amount due for each month based on how many payments were due in that month. If your order says payments are to be made monthly, enter the monthly amount. If support is ordered on a different frequency, such as weekly or bi-weekly, add the amounts due and paid each month and enter monthly totals for each. In our example, $150 in support is due bi-weekly, meaning every 2 weeks, with the first payment due August 3rd, 2020. By looking at a calendar for August 2020, we see that there were 3 payments due in August of that year. If we multiply $150 by 3 payments, we get $450 due for August 2020. Next, determine the amount actually paid for that month. You may need to look at your bank statements or receipts. Write that amount in the paid column for that month and year. In our example, $200 in support was paid in August 2020. If no payment was made for a particular month, enter 0 in the paid column. Do not leave the line blank. As you move to the next month, remember, if support is ordered on a frequency other than monthly, be sure to calculate the number of payments due each month. In our example, the last August 2020 payment was due August 31st. That means the first September 2020 payment would be due 2 weeks later, on September 14th. The next payment due after that would be on September 28th. Because there are 2 payments due in September, you would multiply 2 times $150 for a total monthly amount due of $300. Continue to enter the amounts due and paid for each month through the end of the first year. Next, subtotal the first year by adding each monthly amount in the due column. Enter this total in box A. In our example, we add August's $450 plus 4 months of $300 for a total amount due of $1,650 for 2020. Next, subtotal the amount paid for the year. Enter this amount in box B. In our example, we add the amounts in the paid column to get $1,300. Write the total in the subtotal box under the paid column. If more than 1 year is needed, continue by writing the next year in the top left of the next payment history box. Repeat the steps completed for the previous year with this year's information. If you are providing information for more than 6 years, attach additional pages with the same information requested in Section B. Once you have filled in all the information up through today's date, remember to subtotal each column. Once you've subtotaled each year, add together the A boxes. These include the subtotal of each year's amount due, plus any previously established amount or arrearage due from line 3. In our example, this is $1,000. Enter this total amount due on line 6. Then, add together the B boxes, which is each year's amount paid subtotal. Enter this amount on line 7, total amount paid. Subtract the total amount paid on line 7 from the total amount due on line 6 to get the total amount owed. Enter this amount on line 8. Then, put today's date as the as of date on line 9. If you used additional pages, write the number of additional pages on line 10. Otherwise, write 0 on line 10. Congratulations! You're almost done completing this form. Once you have completed each section and made sure the information provided is correct, print your name where indicated in Section D, then sign and date the form. The notice that comes with this form tells you how to return the form to us. Return options include mail or fax. If you have any questions, please contact us. Visit our website at floridarevenue.com for more information.